So today I am doing something that I've been thinking about doing for probably the past 10 years. I don't know about you, but as I have gotten older, I have noticed that my eyebrows have not only thinned, but they've gotten lighter. And being blonde, I definitely don't have much to start with, right? So about 10 years ago when I really started noticing it and they were thinning, so I started buying all of these different eyebrow products, a lot of eyebrow products, and over the last 10 years I have accumulated quite a pile. And I think the problem is that I just really don't know how to do it properly. So I am going to get microblading done today. And I don't have anything on them, so they are there, but barely. So she promised me it's not going to hurt. And I don't know if you have read up on it or not, but there's a whole process. So I won't be able to show you the final results today, but I did want to show you the process. And she has agreed to let me film while she does the whole thing. She's going to numb the area first so I won't feel it. This is not like a full-blown tattoo. It's sort of like a tattoo light in that it does fade away. All right, so I'm glad you're here for this. Let's go on a little bit of an adventure. Okay, let's go.
So far it does look like you're a good candidate for microblading. And then talk to me about your shape that you wanted to do. It looks like you have like a slight arch.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that I would want to keep that
Yes.
soft arch. Nothing too crazy, nothing
Right,
too high.
right.
But
But this is the one with the weird mole thing.
That's okay. It's just your shape is good. And that's
Yes.
the one that you like.
Yes.
So what I like to do is when we do your brows, to make them more symmetrical, there's a lot of more factors than just making them even to the other side of the brow. There's also the factor of your eyes and see how they're set. Sometimes one eye is positioned more round. Sometimes one eye is positioned a little higher. So we do have to compensate for that just a little bit. But instead of matching them completely exact, sometimes we have to go pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And we bring one up a little bit and we bring another eyebrow down just a little bit. Just so it kind of blends in without looking like we just evened out your brows, but now your eyes are really funky. We can't do anything about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Makes sense. Oh my God. So this is a whole different piece of equipment. It's not a tattoo gun.
correct. Okay, so we're gonna do one. I'll let you know when we're done. Tell me how you feel. How was that?
It's painless.
Perfect.
I didn't even feel it. Yay.
That's exactly what we want to hear. okay because now this is more filled in. The rest of it's filled in. It's really okay now, see?
Yeah.
I know you still see it as it's magnified, but
Yeah.
if you put a little dot right there, it's not as bad.
But the shape is great. You did a great job
Yeah,
on the shape.
thank you. So like I said, you are most likely gonna lose these little tips here on the edges.
Yeah.
And we lose these because they kind of taper off as we do, you know, to make them like a little light and feathery at the end. So those kind of, in there has instructions. I want you to keep them dry for the first 2 days. On the third day, you can put on your ointment in the morning time and then take it off with some mild soap or just water and reapply the ointment in the evening time. So for the first 2 days, since I want you to keep them dry, there is a little shower guard in there. You can place over your brows while you're taking a shower if you need to wash your hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Oh, now as far as taking off makeup or anything like that, just work around them.
So work around.
Okay.
Yep.
And what about sleeping?
So sleeping, if you can, try to make sure that you don't sleep on your sides
Okay.
because that way we don't rub off
So
any
try to
excess
sleep
ink.
on my back if possible.
Possible, yes, I
Well,
know.
once you go to
You know
sleep,
what's?
you don't
I
know.
know it's exactly. But if you have like a little travel pillow, I usually
Okay.
suggest that, or kind of prop up like a small blanket to kind of tuck under your chin, so you
Okay.
can still sleep on the side,
Oh,
but you're not
okay.
rubbing up against the pillow.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's
Okay.
always easy for someone because you know we're all typically side sleepers.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And once you're asleep, who knows what you do?
Exactly, for sure.
Stand
But
up.
I definitely recommend keeping out of the sun, so no direct sunlight.
Okay,
For at least 10 days because that's when you're actively healing.
okay.
So no sauna as well, no pool, no jacuzzi. Try to avoid any of your pets kind of coming close in contact
Okay.
with your brows because we want to consider them an open wound, so you don't
Okay.
want to have any kind of possible infection.
Should I change the pillowcase on my pillow so that it's clean?
Just in
Okay.
case, you know, we don't want to rub, you don't have to do that every night.
Okay.
You know, just maybe for the first night, that'd be great extra. But
Okay.
definitely make sure you don't want to have
Keep it up.
anything on your brow as it's healing because
Okay, and then
Okay.
call you in a couple of weeks?
call me in a couple weeks so that we can kind of see how you're
See
done
this.
healing and then we'll schedule you in. Usually about the 6th, 7th, or the 8th week for you to come in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so a while.
Yep,
Okay.
pretty good.
Yay!
Yay! I'm glad you love them.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's day 2, and I'm keeping my hair out of my eyes. I had a clip that I put in it last night for sleeping. I pulled it back in a headband, and what I'm noticing is that they don't look exactly like when I left her salon, which she kind of told me that they were going to go through a process, which I guess is why I wanted to show you what they look like 2 days later. I'm going to show you close up. Hopefully I'm not looking cross-eyed. But, you know, I have that spot. It's missing its coloration. And so she told me to be on the safe side. She did not want to do any strokes for my new brow. So I respect that. She said, you never know what might happen if we start doing a little bit of microblading on it. But as you can see, it's really noticeable now. Can you see that? I think it's really noticeable. So I think I'm going to still have to use one of those either pencils or liquid or something to fill in that spot. Maybe we always notice that thing about our own face and half the people that look at us don't even notice, but I understand it's a process. But I just want to say this about the whole process. Patty was very thorough in her actual mapping. And I said to her at one point, it reminds me of when you're going to paint a room, the more time you spend with the prep, the better the outcome. You don't just walk in and say, I want to paint this room and start slapping paint around. You really want to do that prep work, which hats off to her. She really took the time to do it properly. You don't just put a stencil down and place some eyebrows. You really want to adjust so that it makes everything look symmetrical. And I really appreciate her doing that. So I felt like not only did she make me feel comfortable, but she knew what she was doing. She was good at what she did for me, and she also wants to make sure that I'm really happy. So I was very pleased, and I definitely would recommend her. Now, if you're in the Orange County area, she said she would be happy to offer my viewers something special. So I'm going to leave the information for Patty and her Oasis Brow Studio in the description box below, so you can contact her if you would like to see about getting this done for yourselves. Also, if you have had this done, I would love to hear how long ago did you have it done and how long did it last? Because from what I've been reading, they say anywhere from 1 to 3 years. She was honest and she says, I think more realistically, it's about a year. So it's one of those things, once you dive in, you need to maintain it. And not like every month, but it is something that you have to decide going into it. Is it something that bothers me enough that I want to spend the money to have it done? When I very first walked out and I took that picture, I was like, wow, I like this. Now it's going through its changes. She said they'll get darker, then they'll get lighter, and then they'll settle in. So I think when all is said and done, fingers crossed, I'll be really happy. If I can just get rid of that hole in my eyebrow. Thanks for joining me again as I try something new and share my findings with you. I look forward to seeing you every week on Thursdays. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really love for you to do so. I appreciate that. And of course, any thumbs up you want to give it. Okay, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.